Assalamualaikum and hi guys. So today I'm going to tell you about the reasons why I really like the novel Dear Mr. Kilmer in general, but also mostly focusing on the ending of the story because I think the ending is the sweet resolvement that we all waiting for after a lot of chapters that we've been through in this novel. Because at first when I'm looking at this novel, I searched for it on the internet. I thought it is such a thick novel because there's a lot of chapters covered on, and there's a lot of emotions and feelings that going on between the characters. Like there are a lot of conflicts. There are ironic between wanted to do this, but then afraid that if you do this, then people might not agree and you get into trouble. But instead, the main characters in this story, especially Richard, really show us that perseverance is one of the key to go toward success, and also his passion in writing poems does highlight a lot of things. Like if you have passion in life, most probably you can find successful. Why? Because you're happy doing it. You know the objectives. You know what you're doing, even if people doesn't understand. Because of course there's logic, right? People going to question you a lot of things, but then it's up to yourself how you view it, how you take it, and how you resolve it. Like you find peace in yourself. That's the most important thing. Like do not take all the things that people say or told you to do, because that might not work for you. So one of the reasons why I really like the ending is because first, it tells you that the poet does have a role in the community. For example, Richard. He is a student, but also a poet, right? And throughout the story, we might think that his poems is just like not that good, but then he proved it wrong when his poem got to be published in a Turtle Weekly, which is a local newspaper column in his town. And it shows that he made it. He made it because when he first submitted his story to Mrs. Hanson and she showed him which poem that he should submit it to Mr. Kilmer, it does shows his progress, his improvement, how he really tries to really make a great poem. And even Mr. Kilmer praised him because for a young person like him to write a poem as good as it is such a magnificent, because not many people at a very young age at that time loves to write poem or even acknowledge what is it all about. Why would people write poems? And the second thing I really like about the ending is because of the weird relationship between Pa and also Richard, because even though they work together at a farm, they don't have a very close relationship with each other. But this changed after Mr. Kilmer's death. Why? Because during commemoration to Mr. Kilmer, Richard wrote a poem. And in the poem, he states something that has been going on in Pa's mind for several days since his uncle's death, which is the world is dead. The world's gone. The world's dead. The world's gone. The world is gone and dead. I think that's the right phrase. And I think since then, how Pa view Richard is becoming much more different, which he becoming much more supportive in him. For example, he always listens to Richard poems after dinner beside his fire, and he told them which poem is better than the others, but most often he did praise Richard's poem. And the third reason why I really like this poem and I really encourage you to read is because of the perseverance throughout the whole story. Because how the character even evolves from becoming someone who firstly just interested to know who Mr. Kilmer is, to the part where he defending the Sturmers, especially Hannah, and how he showed his expressions through poems. He's still not changed. How the whole story progressed. It really shows perseverance. Because, and at the end of the day, you know, the sweet resolvement or sweet endings would never be achieved without perseverance. Any conflicts that you have in life will not going to be resolved unless you persevere throughout. Bear in mind that a lot of things might gonna make you fall, but if you always have the positive traits and positive mindset going on, then you will realize that you're all that you need. You're all that you need to forsake. So thank you. That's all for me. Bye.